Hey everyone, welcome to the best damn video game podcast ever. I am Tim Torres, your host, and with me tonight, we have a raging storm going on outside, so if any weird things happen, and hopefully editing will fix it, and we might jump back and forth through time, so get ready for that. But first, I have two guests tonight. I have someone go, speak.
Brill here. I'm the features editor at 2dx.com, and I'm also the freelancer, so I write for Examiner.com, PC Magazine, and MultiplayerGames.com.
And you have me, Tatjana, former managing editor of 2dx.com, and now the founder and editor-in-chief of AskTatjana.com. And for those of you that are confused, Ask Tatjana and 2dx are owned by the same CEO human being, so we're all still one big happy family, all owned by the man himself.
By the man.
The man. Stick it to the man. Read that review by Stephanie Berto on 2dx.com. So today we're talking about E3. E3 is right around the corner. It's like going to be a week or two from now from the time this is up. Yeah. So we're going to talk about E3 conference predictions. What will Microsoft predict? What we're going to predict, what Microsoft will announce, what Sony will announce, Nintendo, Ubisoft, EA, what they should announce, and probably what they won't announce. So let's get this started. So let's start with Microsoft. Did you say?
Yes.
Okay. What do you think they'll do?
I think Microsoft is going to have at least two. I say two because it's the first real year that Xbox One is, out. Two horrible, awful, cheesy, over-the-top, useless Kinect demos.
Really? Even though they practically killed the Kinect?
But here's the thing, though, is last year Microsoft said, the Kinect is important to us. Just because we're selling this without the Kinect does not mean it's not a focus, because they are going to start selling the Kinect separately. And they don't have a SKU or a retail price for it yet, but I can almost guarantee you that it's going to be more than $100. So when you buy them separately, it's not going to cost $500. That they are going to penalize you for buying them separately. And that is also something that they might announce. The price of the Kinect standalone, because they did announce that that's going to happen, that the Kinect is still powerful. I think the only reason why they're selling it without the Kinect is because Sony has literally sold twice as many units at this point, and they have to play catch up because no one wants to spend $500 on this thing. No one really gives a shit about the Kinect, but the thing is that Microsoft gives a shit about the Kinect. And there's so much that the new Kinect can do. I mean, it can see your heart rate. It
could spy on you.
It can spy on you. It freaks out Germans, the whole bit. So the thing is we still have yet to see the Your Shape Fitness. We have yet to see the Jillian Michaels game that's been advertised. All we have is Zumba, Kinect Sports, and Just Dance. But I think the Kinect, because they're pushing it so hard, and although they're technically removing it, they're still going to push that you buy that. I have this feeling that if you really think about it, the whole UI of the Xbox One has to change without the Kinect.
Yeah, didn't they announce they were going to do that?
They would have to.
Yes. Yeah. But I think they're going to be really stingy about this, and I actually think that's the right word, but be like, unlock this feature when you buy the Kinect. Oh, you can't access this part of the menu because you're a cheap ass who didn't buy a Kinect. And I think they're
terrible.
But I mean, what not terrible thing has Microsoft done in the last year?
I wouldn't be surprised if they did some passive-aggressive bullshit like that, and they went, hey, you don't have to buy the Kinect, play your Xbox One without it, but if you want to access anything that's not game-related, you need a Kinect. Even if it doesn't make any fucking sense at all.
Yep. Why would you buy anything non-game related? It's a game console, but that's the beginning of
it's an entertainment.
Microsoft.
So what else will they do?
I know they're gonna have some Assassin's Creed Unity bullshit, or maybe that'll be Sony. Maybe that'll be Sony actually, because Sony they had Brotherhood and they had the shitty one, Liberation. They had and Assassin's Creed 4. That was all Sony, so I take that back. Probably gonna see, hopefully, more Metal Gear Solid stuff.
Because they were at the Kojima showed the last one at last year's E3.
Yeah.
And then anything Square related, I think, is going to be on the other end.
Sony.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if there was some sort of Forza Horizon type ordeal on the Xbox One. And that ties in with the rumor of Gran Turismo 7/6 for the PS4 being announced on, the Sony end. So
Right.
I think they're going to have to come up with something else. Or, more realistically, in Forza 5, this is my main beef with it, they took out the Nürburgring, which if you're any sort of autophile like myself, you know what that means to you. Sears Point, over 300 cars, the Suzuki circuit.
Can you briefly define what that means?
The Nürburgring?
Yeah.
The Nürburgring is a track in Germany in the village of Nürburg, and literally every single vehicle, whether it's consumer, sports, performance, luxury, anything, any car, is tested on that ring before it is made into final production.
Any car ever?
Any car. I'm talking Chevy Cruzes to Maserati Gran Turismos to Toyota, Camrys to Lamborghini Aventadors. All cars are put to the test on the Nürburgring, which is why sometimes when you have these conversations with automobile, fanatics like myself, you'll talk about ring times. And ring times are referring to the Nürburgring. For example, we still have to hear McLaren's official P1 ring time, but we know it beat 7 minutes, which is like an all-time record, as well as the Porsche 918 also beat 7 minutes. So the ring is really important. They took it out of Forza 5, and I wouldn't be surprised if that, along with the other circuits and the other 300 cars they took out, would be announced as some sort of either A, hard copy expansion, or B, overpriced DLC. They have to have something related to some sort of huge racing thing, because we already know that Need for Speed isn't going to get announced, because they already said that they're not going to come out with another Need for Speed title, I believe, until 2015 or 2016, that they're going to take a break and they're really going to slow down and work on it.
But what about Halo 5? Halo 5 has to be officially unveiled,
absolutely.
Right?
Because it's
probably
it has a name.
4. Guardians.
Guardians,
yeah. That's my prediction, is that Guardians will be the new blank fall. We've had Skyfall, Titanfall, Towerfall. It's every game is going to have the subtitle something Guardians. I'm sure of it.
Dude.
We already have Guardians of the Galaxy. That's going to be a huge hit this summer, so I'm sure marketers are going to go, oh, Guardians, let's put that title in everything, that word in every title, rather. Gears of War 4, I'm sure, will be unveiled. 4? Are we up to 4 now?
It's technically 5 because Judgment was 4, I believe.
If we were technically counting Halo games, we're up to Halo 9 now or 10?
I don't know.
On that note, I do predict that Fallout 5 will be something that Microsoft will get to unveil and not Sony.
Fallout 4? Or 5,
it's been rumored as being called 5, not 4.
Really?
That's the rumor.
Okay, what should they announce, or what won't they?
What won't they announce? I don't, Gabe, I've taken the thunder. I know you've got something hiding up in there.
Not really. Not really. I mean, all I expect from Microsoft at this point, considering how they dropped the ball last year, is games. I feel like they will probably talk about the Xbox One and the Kinectless feature and how they're going to work that into sales and all that. But I feel like they're just going to be pushing games out the door pretty much right from the beginning. They're going to be like, look, this is what we've got. This is why you want an Xbox One. At this point, that's what they have to do anyway, because they are really behind as far as the console race goes. So that's it. Off the top of my head, that's all I can think of that they really need to do at this conference. Is just go, hey, look, these are the games we're gonna show. These are the games you can expect to play. Here's what you can expect. This holiday season. Here's what you can expect. Q1 next year. Period.
Okay. I think what they shouldn't do is talk about the 360. I swear to God, if they have one more physical remodel of the 360,
I actually expect them to announce some kind of backwards compatibility or something. Is what I expect, to be honest. Not backwards compatibility, but maybe not DLC. What is it? Kind of like digital versions of Xbox 360 games.
Like PlayStation now.
Yeah, exactly. I could see them doing that. I wouldn't be surprised if that was at the E3 conference.
Okay, so what's next on the schedule, Todd? We've had Microsoft, so who's next? Ubisoft or EA?
Ubisoft, I believe, would be after
Ubi.
Microsoft. They kind of switch. So I want to say it's going to be Ubi.
Okay. Beyond Good and Evil 2, will it happen? We're all praying.
I don't know. I expect Ass Creed, and that's it. That's all I expect from.
I expect the beating of dead horses everywhere. Just dead horses laid on stage, and Aisha Tyler just taking a baseball bat and beating the living shit out of every single one. I mean, there is no life in any of these horses because that's all Ubisoft has been for the last 3 years.
Yeah, and they admitted as such like a year or two ago that they will keep doing it as long as people keep buying it, and people keep buying it. So
there's going to be some Unity bullshit. There's going to be I can almost guarantee you some stupid portable Assassin's Creed game that goes with fucking Vita or something.
I don't see the point in that. Did Liberation even do well?
Liberation did so well for them that they ported it on the PS3 in HD.
Okay.
So.
Far
Cry 4.
That's true. Far Cry 4. I forgot about that.
Oh yeah, the controversial Far Cry 4.
Did I miss something actually? Because I
was going to ask you the
about that and wondering what the fuck everyone was talking about. It's a white guy.
It's not a white guy, but everyone thinks it's a white guy. That's the controversy. Is that
it's a white guy?
It's a white guy.
What's wrong with that?
Well, because he's subjugating some non-white person, even though I don't think it is a white guy.
Right, but we're talking about the antagonist, though, right, Tim?
Yes.
So what's the problem? I still don't understand why this is an issue. If this was the protagonist subjugating, non-white peoples, I can see that being the issue. But this is supposed to be the bad guy. So what's the drama? I don't know.
What else will E3 announce? Another Rayman?
Probably.
Anything? They just do Rayman and Assassin's Creed games. So.
You know what though? I do like the Rayman games. I will not deny the fact that I loved Origins and I loved Legends. They were, first of all, I personally think they're best on the Vita. They're just gorgeous on that OLED. They're beautiful. I mean, I thoroughly enjoyed them on the Vita. I think they're phenomenal. So I mean that they can keep going with that, but I don't expect any new IPs. I think I heard it's 2K that's working on new IPs.
Yeah.
And EA's next, but I honestly don't expect to be wowed or impressed or entertained by any of Ubisoft's announcements.
Wholeheartly, it's more of the same.
Aisha Taylor won't entertain you? Or the funny guy? Remember that? The guy with glasses?
Nope.
You don't? Oh, well, that's probably for the best.
I was gonna say I've tried to erase this from my memory. My abilities.
Yeah. No, I was gonna say I expect what we saw last year again, but this time with a new fresh coat of paint. So
with a new number
5 this time. I wouldn't be surprised to see another Rayman. They don't have Watch Dogs now since that's coming out, but something else, and it's
DLC. They could still push DLC.
I don't want to spoil it, but I wouldn't be surprised to see Watch Dogs at E3.
Watch Dogs 2?
Yeah.
Oh man, it's not even out yet.
Official thing there or not, but I mean, I'm not sure when this podcast will be released, so maybe it'll be after.
Hopefully soon, because the thing about E3 is that all the big announcements are made a week before E3 anyway.
All right.
Well,
I was going to say, Watch Dogs 2 is legitimately announced at E3. I will, as most of you know, I'm allergic to blue cheese. I will eat a handful of blue cheese and make myself vomit because I will not be able to mentally handle that. I will just go insane.
Maybe it won't be announced at E3, but I expect that to be a thing very soon.
Well, they want to make it a franchise.
That's all I'll say about that, but yes.
Okay. What about EA? Is it
FIFA.
EA time?
EA time.
Madden.
Wait, what was the first one you said?
FIFA. FIFA's gonna be. I mean, FIFA was huge last year, and you know what? This is coming from someone who hasn't played a sports game since Madden '93 on the SNES. FIFA 14 was really well done. it first of all had a surprisingly good soundtrack, excellent mechanics, and was really smooth. It played like soccer, and you know what? It was a huge improvement from the past ones, from what I saw. So you know what? If FIFA 15 is going to continue riding that, go ahead. I know we're going to see NHL 15. We're going to see Madden 15. I do suspect that the Madden 15 cover athlete will be announced at E3, and I wouldn't be surprised if he was on stage. I mean, we had Drake and Dana White last year, so why wouldn't we have whoever they pick?
30 seconds.
It's what?
No, nothing.
Oh. But yeah, I mean, we had Dana White, we had a bunch of UFC champions last year. It's not football season; everyone's at camp, so I'm rooting for Colin Kaepernick. I can speak English. Colin Kaepernick to be on the cover. So I mean, if he wins the cover thing, I expect him to, or whoever does, I expect them to be there. I do expect Dana White to come on stage again and talk more about UFC. And the progress of it, and I do expect a playable demo of it on the floor as well. Mirror's Edge 2.
That's true.
Really?
And I do expect Mirror's Edge 2 to be there, and
oh God, I hope so.
with Amy Hennig at Visceral now, I do wholeheartedly expect some sort of news on the new Star Wars franchise.
That's true.
Oh, yeah.
They announced both of those games last E3, so it would be ridiculous for them to skip E3 this year for that.
Exactly.
Also, Sim, what the fuck? What are they at right now?
Sims 4.
I expect that at EA's conference.
Battlefield 5. Come on, let's get real.
Yeah, that's true too.
Already?
Dragon Age Inquisition.
I can't believe I forgot about that. Yep, you're right.
And then either A, Mass Effect Trilogy on PS4 and Xbox One, B, the unveiling of the new Mass Effect game, or C, a little bit of both.
You know what they'll do? They'll probably do both. They'll probably announce the trilogy remix, whatever, for current gen consoles, and at the last minute, the last thing they'll show you is
the logo.
The logo, exactly.
Bring earplugs if you're going to the EA press conference, and because if I'm there, I'm going to be there, and if I see that Mass Effect logo, I'm just going to scream so loud I'm going to make all your fucking ears bleed. And that is a promise. I promise you.
I was saying that the conferences they do are always like ear-splitting.
Oh, yeah. When Drake came on stage, I screamed for no reason. I, again, expect some sort of black rapper who was good-looking to be there, because every year it's either Microsoft or EA, and I lose my shit. Like when Usher came on Microsoft 2012, whew. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
There were fireworks! I'm a woman, I'm sorry.
Are there any things that E3 should announce, or what? Because that sounds like, I think that was it, Tatjana. That was perfect. That's the E3 conference.
Yeah, what should EA's E3 conference have? What should they have?
Off the top of my head, I can't even think of any EA IPs that I honestly care about anymore.
Command and Conquer.
Is that
They could come.
Star Wars?
They bought Westwood a billion years ago.
What I hope to God I don't see is like another Plants vs. Zombies game. I will eat my arm.
Well, Garden Warfare, that should cover them for a good year.
Yeah, I suppose.
It's EA. They're not far behind Ubisoft. Let's be honest.
Who's after EA? So is it Sony time?
Sony.
It is Sony time. I predict Shuhei Yoshida in his full glory to come on stage with his beautiful smile and go, and now I will show you the last Guardian, and tears will emit from everyone's faces as we all hold hands and hug and cry and scream.
For PS4.
Yes.
Which means everyone with a PS3 who bought a PS3 for that game are going to be like, what the hell? We had
it
not
was
again.
The same thing when everyone bought a fucking PS3 for Kingdom Hearts 3. Let's get real. We're all one of those fucking
And
people.
Final Fantasy Versus 13.
Final Fantasy Versus was my thing, yeah. And that never came to fruition. I honestly don't think it'll be there. Sorry.
Really?
I don't think so. I think that.
Square Enix is like, LOL, let's show you the same thing we showed you last year.
Yeah. No, I honestly legit do not think that Last Guardian's going to be on stage. I feel like that IP.
I hope
I mean, not to be negative or anything, but it's just we haven't heard of that IP for what, like 3 years now?
Correction, Shuhei Yoshida did say in an interview that it is still in production.
Yeah, but then so did Itagaki. He said that Devil's Third is still in production. We haven't heard anything.
Itagaki is drunk all the time. Yeah. That is
Which,
fact.
if Last Guardian is there, I expect Devil's Third to be there, probably at Microsoft's conference.
Yes, but I mean, Devil's Third, you also have to realize, was owned by THQ, and then THQ
bye-bye. Went through its own nightmare. Fair enough. And what happened with The Last Guardian? It just seems like, incompetence at that point? It's just like, we just sit on the IP now. I don't know what the fuck happened.
I don't know.
I hope so. I mean, not to be. I really do hope it's there. I just don't think it will be. But aside from The Last Guardian, what else? Sony's going to have Square Enix at their side, I'm sure, So all the Kingdom Hearts bullshit. I know for, most of the internet is probably aware and predicting that we will see Uncharted 4. Mm-hmm. It's going to happen. And I do think that it's just going to be pretty much Bruce and Neil on stage talking about the gameplay elements, going through either a long trailer or 5 minutes of gameplay and introducing new things. Mm. That's what I think. I do think that The Last of Us PS4 will get its final drop date, which will probably be sometime this summer. I don't think The Last of Us 2 will be there. I don't understand why anyone on the internet thinks that's a thing. If you really think logically about this, Amy Hennig left. Bruce and Neil were The Last of Us and The Last of Us 2. Bruce and Neil are now Uncharted 4. Bruce and Neil can't do both at the same time. I don't think The Last of Us 2 will be a thing until Uncharted 4 is said and done.
My bad.
So anyways, Tim, you cut off. Okay. Yes, I was going to say, yes, the Assassin's Creed thing, but Naughty Dog, is a lot smaller than Ubisoft. Going to the studio and seeing it myself, there's no way that they can pull Tilo 2 and U4 at the same time.
I see. Okay.
On the development side, they can tweak and do stuff at the same time, but in terms of the filming, of the acting, the storyline, everything else, there's no way.
Mm. Okay, but God of War, what are they, 5? God of War 5? That's going to be there, right?
That's going to be a thing. Most likely, like I said,
Kratos out of where is it? I don't even know. Who cares?
Undead.
I'm tired of that man. That angry.
Like I said, Gran Turismo, I think, is going to be a thing. I expect to see a lot of PS4 collections. I'm talking Uncharted HD collection, maybe another rehash of like Sly Cooper and Ratchet and Clank, maybe an Infamous collection for PS4 as well. I'm expecting a lot of collections, although PlayStation now will most likely get, hopefully, fingers crossed, a date at the conference. I think there's going to be a lot of hard copies for the people that can't enjoy those older titles.
So are there going to be any new IPs or new games, you think? It seems like all next gen has are last gen updates.
Well, The Order. There's that.
Oh yeah, The Order. Yeah.
Gray on gray shooting.
Sounds great.
Sounds
what about the Vita? Is the Vita? It's dead. What are they doing with it?
It's a very expensive paperweight, and I'm glad I never invested in one.
I don't know, but what they should announce is something that will make people look at the Vita and say, "Oh, I need that." That's not an indie game.
Okay, let's think like Jeffrey here. Sega collection on the Vita.
But more collections? I mean, I don't know.
More old
Can I get
games.
a new IP? Something. I mean, if anything, I would have bought a Vita for ease and Muramasa.
Yes.
I didn't because I didn't feel like it, honestly. But I mean, a new IP would be really nice. Something to get.
I know, a Parasite Eve reboot, just for Tim Torres.
I wouldn't mind a Parasite Eve 2 reboot if they were handled properly. That'd be nice to play with on the.
I can see him getting nervous.
Yeah, I can see him sweating now. He's like, I want a Parasite Eve on the Vita.
Yeah, I don't know.
Not from Square Enix, at least.
But Sony, I mean, you were talking about Microsoft and Kinect. Like, it's not their focus right now anymore, but they're still supporting it.
Oh, Morpheus! We have to see
Oh, yeah.
Morpheus.
Oh, you think so?
It was a
Yeah.
GDC. Why wouldn't it be at E3? We have to see Morpheus. If they don't do Morpheus, they should. I mean, that's with Oculus Rift getting bought by Facebook and the fact that people like Notch, jumped off that hype train. We need to see Morpheus and what Morpheus is going to bring us.
So hopefully the Morpheus will be there, whatever that will be. I just think it's really unfortunate the Vita is pretty much dead in the water, or that Sony does not know what to do with it. They have no idea. And hopefully this E3 they'll have a clear sign, although I doubt it.
You never know. You never know what they have. I mean, Adam Boyes just celebrated his second year with the company, and without Adam Boyes, Sony wouldn't have all that indie and third-party support. So, I mean, you never know. I mean, he actually came into my store a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
He's a really good guy, and everyone at Sony loves him. And apparently, he's doing something that's phenomenal. And he could have some tricks up his sleeve. We don't know what Sony could bring to the Vita or the PS4 in terms of third-party relations. We really don't. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Resident Evil 7, at least a logo.
Oh, that's right, Resident Evil 7. Yeah, that should be at the Sony.
That should be at Sony's thing.
It should be. Maybe for Vita. Because there was supposed to be a Resident Evil for PSP, which we never got. And Devil May Cry.
Oh, there he goes.
Devil May Cry. Now we know it.
Yep.
Devil May Cry. Yes, Devil May Cry.
Devil May Cry.
Will Devil May Cry 5 be there?
I don't know. I mean, if anything, actually, not to get too off topic, but I haven't heard.
Yeah.
Okay, because you froze. I was like, I haven't heard anything from Capcom. This for E3 this year.
No
Have
one
you?
has.
They're keeping very close to their chest. Hopefully that means they're working on really cool stuff.
Well, if that means skipping out on E3, I suppose, to get something worthwhile out there.
Ultra's gonna be there because
Ultra.
That's true.
Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate should be there for Wii U, or no, for 3DS.
Or 3DS. I don't think they've announced the Wii U version.
They haven't.
Yeah.
Not yet, anyway.
Cross our fingers, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's Square Enix. I'm retarded.
What's that?
I almost said Chrono Trigger and Chrono Cross for the Vita, and then I was like, that's...
They're on Vita. You could download them on PlayStation Network.
Yeah.
Although I don't recommend download Chrono Trigger, because that's the PlayStation 1 version, and it has horrible load time.
Yeah, no.
But that's what I'm saying is, like 10 and 10-2 had their own redos. Why not kind of rehash Chrono Trigger and
because that would be a tremendous amount of work. I mean, if they were just gonna port it again, then I could see them doing that. But I mean, if they were gonna do something to the extent that they did with 10.2, I think that would be a lot more work than they'd be willing to invest in, and it's not gonna happen.
What they should do is announce all those games they don't have on PSN yet for PSN, like Birth by Sleep and Crisis Core. And
why would I want either of those?
Yeah, but they're gonna make more money selling an HD remake.
Oh, Type 0. Will this be Type 00? Final Fantasy Type 0?
Yes, actually, I heard them teasing it. I asked them directly, and they completely avoided answering that question.
I'm hoping for the next Hitman and the next Deus Ex game.
Deus Ex. Yes, that sounds about right.
I see that being announced. I see them announcing.
I hope they are.
Of.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. The localization of. Sorry, it's just whenever I see your image freeze, I get a little panicky. I see them announcing the localization of Type 0, whatever the hell, Agito, and trailers for Kingdom Hearts and for what is it? Final Fantasy 15.
Oh, if Type 0 was on Vita, that would be terrific.
That would be terrific.
Because it was on PSP in Japan, right?
Yes, Type 0 was on PSP, and Square, we were all like, why isn't Square just putting this on Vita where it belongs? And they didn't yet, so.
They haven't said anything one way or the other about it. I'd like to see that, and I expect it, but I don't know. They could surprise us and not do anything at all.
Yeah.
That's so unlike Square. They have to piss off someone.
So who have we not covered yet?
New Tomb Raider. New Tomb Raider. Tomb Raider sequel. I also expect that.
Oh man, you know what? This is totally like a fanboy thing. I want them to remake Tomb Raider 2.
Oh.
I thought you were gonna say Final Fantasy VII. I was gonna
No,
fucking throw.
I was actually, that's totally off topic. I'm writing an article on why they should never remake Final Fantasy VII.
Yay! Good for you.
But no, I really want, because they remade Tomb Raider a couple of times, I think, at this point with whatever Crystal Dynamics. I want to see a new Tomb Raider game, like a Tomb Raider 2 remake. They haven't touched that yet, and I think that's the best one. So whatever, just me being a fanboy, but.
Triple triad on mobile phones.
That's so easy. I mean, can you imagine, like, they could make money selling card packs?
Yeah. Done. It's the microtransactions make up them. I mean, they write themselves, you know. It's like, not that I want or will back any of that up, but
I would, if you can earn those cards playing like computer generated characters, I wouldn't have a problem with it.
Just nothing like another All the Bravest.
Yeah. I mean, you could sell like classic Final Fantasy cards or something like, Final Fantasy.
What was that card game?
You're like a seal.
From Final Fantasy IX?
Tetramaster.
The 9 one was Tetramaster.
Yeah,
we're talking the Final Fantasy VIII version, which I think is the better one.
The 8 version.
Why don't they do that again? Again, microtransactions, mobile, Vita, whatever, do it.
You would think,
not?
But that would require thought,
money, effort.
I don't think it would require much money because the game is already there. It exists. It's just a matter of kind of tweaking it and redesigning it for the mobile platform, which I don't think.
Final Fantasy XIV expansion.
I think they actually had a card game in 11, didn't they? Or am I wrong, Tats?
It was Tetramaster.
They had Tetramaster in 11. Okay.
And he's gone. No, he's not.
No, I'm here. I'm here. I'm just very blank. Okay, is it Nintendo time?
Yeah.
What are you laughing at, you Sony fangirl?
Bayonetta 2 maybe coming in the next 3 years or so. Oh wait, we're coming out with a new console in 2016.
I seriously doubt that.
I seriously doubt that too.
I do know an insider that has already seen the specs.
Yeah, they're probably working on something. I don't think so.
I don't think it's going to be at E3, though. That would be ridiculous.
No, it's not going to be at E3. Next year, maybe, E3 2015. But sure. It is rumored that Nintendo's new console has to come out in 2016. That is the rumor.
Maybe.
Because they're that behind on the Wii U. I mean, is Mario Kart really going to help them catch up?
No, probably not. But what they should do is release info on all the new games that they haven't talked about in the past year, like Shin Megami Tensei Cross Fire Emblem, like X.
And Persona Q. Persona
Q will be, that's for 3DS. 3DS is fine. Just keep making awesome games like they have been doing.
Yeah.
X, there's a rumor, I saw a crazy rumor that it's going to be a new Xenogears entry. I doubt it. I mean, if anything, they'll just slap the name on it, and the story and lore and all that won't be related to Xenogears at all.
Right.
I can see that.
They could do that. Okay, Nintendo, yeah, they have a lot to do. Reinvigorate our love for them, which we may or may not still be there. Anything else? Did we leave anything else out for E3 2014?
I mean,
in terms of press, there's tons, but in terms of press conferences, I don't think so.
Cool. I won't be at E3 2014, but Tatjana and Gabriel will. So please follow their Twitters. Guys, plug.
Yes, so I'm, like I said, Gabriel Zamora, features editor at 2dx.com and freelancer for Examiner and PC Magazine. And you can read my tweets at DracoZombie.
And for me, there's a couple places that you can find my stuff. My Twitter is at digital_vixen. That's VIX, the number 3 and the letter N. AskTatiana.com, AskTatjana.com. And then also check 2dx.com. We're going to be doing like a lot of cross stuff. Some that'll be on one site and some that'll be on another. And stay tuned to both at AskTatj and at 2dx for live tweets of all the press conferences and such.
And follow me at Pleased to Meet Ya, and follow 2DX at 2DX. And look at 2DX.com for all the E3 news. I'll be in my pajamas writing all the streams and stuff I'm watching. You guys have a great time. Have fun. Don't get sick, because
Come next year. I can't do
I will
another
do.
E3 without you.
I miss it.
Tell everyone you know to stop getting married in June.
I know. I will. Hopefully, they will all be happily married by then, before June.
Shit.
All right, guys. Hopefully, this was coherent.
Like I said, I would have a disclaimer just in case.
Yeah,
Stay
probably
safe.
will. Apologies for
Yes.
any.
Yes. We are sorry for.
Well, like now, yeah. But it doesn't matter. I think at this point we're pretty much done. So, good. Fucking weather, man. It's
Dude, poor Tim.
yeah. He's the one who's gonna be sitting there editing that fucking shit. It's gonna be a mess.
That's what he gets for being from New Jersey. LOL.
Oh. Yeah, I feel like the stream was smoothest when Jeffrey was on. It didn't hiccup at all.
Right?
And all of a sudden he leaves, and then everything went to pot. Hey there.
Hello.
We're done. Anyways, right, Tim?
Are we done? There's no more exiting, right? No more outros.
I think we're good. I think if anything, you could probably just kind of say goodbye again.
Yeah.
If you want to.
Goodbye. This is it before lightning strikes me. Goodbye. See you at E3. Enjoy E3. Tell us down below what you think will be announced, what should be announced, what you want to see, and keep in touch. Bye.